Hare Krishna, my dear Prabhus and dear Matajis. Good morning, and thank you for joining our morning Japa session. And welcome sa ating Braj Bhakti Academy Monk in the Middle podcast, the study of Srimad Bhagavatam. And good morning, Kai. Yes, Paulo Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Riza Mataji, Jonah Mataji, Sha Mataji, Madhuguranga Prabhu. Also, those who are watching us live here in Braj Eco Village, those who are attending this Bhagavatam study sa ating Facebook Live. Hello, Hare Krishna. Yan. And of course, my dear God brothers, Radhanath Prabhu and Navadip Chandra Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Galing, galing. Good morning. So before we go to our introduction, mga nakaraan, good news, I have found most of my files tinago ni iCloud. Nalaman ko, technique pala yun para bibili mo sila. Galing nga. Oy, si
So,
Madhuguranga naman.
sorry.
Hmm,
So, talagang kinailangan mong bilhin yung account? Yung
hindi.
ano?
May isang IT na inaccess yung laptop on through online. Tapos may ginawang backup na archive si iCloud. Pero mostly ganun yung nangyayari. Kapag di mo na siya nahanap or tumagal na hindi mo nakuha yung archive, you have to buy it.
So, good. All good. All good.
Oh, good, yes. So, join me as we set our mood in the mood of request, in the mood of humility. And of course, we need to do this every time we have to um, start studying or practice spirituality, or even, of course, our daily lives. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayat Nashta Prayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamas Loke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Ang nakaraan sa ating Srimad Bhagavatam, um, si Bhishma Dev was in his deathbed. Tapos na yung instructions niya kay Yudhishthir Maharaj. Perfect timing was there already. And now, he is praying. So kung napapansin natin, all of Krishna's greatness was there. And totoo yun, yung sinasabi sa sa scriptures and of course yung mga naririnig natin near-death experiences. May mga flashbacks nung life natin yung bumabalik. It is actually condensed in few seconds or minutes ng buhay natin. Pero the whole life magbabalik doon. Pero kakaiba to because si Bhishma Dev, ang meditation niya was just recently. Of course, he is always Krishna conscious, pero nakukuha niya yung meditation, that concentration, nung past time, nung nangyari sa war. Which was, si Krishna was attacking him using the wheel of the chariot as the Sudarshan chakra, breaking his own vow for the sake ng vow na kanyang dearmost devotee. What a great sacrifice. And of course, fulfilling everyone's desire. Meron siyang fulfill na desire ni Arjuna, protecting Arjuna as well, pati yung kay Bhishma and all others. Lahat may benefit. It may seem na partial si Krishna, pero we will learn how Krishna is always impartial to everyone. So, continued reading sa ating Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, Creation, chapter 9, entitled The Passing Away of Bhishma Dev. Text number 39. Nandito pala si Sudarshan Prabhu. Hare Krishna, good morning Sudarshan. Ating young prodigy. Huwag kayong magugulat pag mayroon na siyang mga ganitong Zoom classes. Zoom. Text number 39. At the moment of death, let my ultimate attraction to be Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. I concentrate my mind upon the chariot driver of Arjuna, who stood with the whip in his right hand and the bridle rope in his left, who was very careful to give protection to Arjuna's chariot by all means. Those who saw him on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original forms after death. So, grabing concentration ni Bhishma Dev dito. He was describing how fortunate, unahin natin yung last line, how fortunate everyone being in the battlefield together with Krishna. Bakit? Kasi lahat may benefit. And of course, it was emphasized by Srila Prabhupada, yung concentration, yung meditation ni Srila Vyasadeva, ni Srila Bhishma Dev. Sobrang grabe, sobrang focus. Sabi nga ni Radhanath, sobrang HD, baka more than 8K pa yung resolution ng tingin niya. Ano, nakikita niya yung mga beads of sweat kay Krishna eh. 'Di ba? Sobrang yung dust dun sa hair ni Krishna. Imagine nasa war sila, galong kagulo dun maingay. Pero yung meditation niya, undeviated na kay Krishna. And sabi nga, mas swerte daw si Bhishma Dev kasi nakakapag-focus siya sa darshan kay Krishna. Compared kay Arjuna, si Arjuna nasa likod niya si Krishna eh. I mean, nasa harapan niya si Krishna eh. Yung likod ni Krishna yung nakikita niya. Pero si Bhishma Dev, nakikita ni Bhishma Dev yung harapan mismo ni Krishna. So meron siyang great darshan, meron siyang greater view kay Krishna. And yung concentration ni Bhishma Dev is also compared sa mga concentration ng mga mystic yogi, yung mga yogi that wanted to see Krishna within themselves sa Paramatma nila. But there are big differences. Unang-una, yung meditation ng mga yogi, meditating on the Paramatma within, they are all doing it mechanically. May pattern, may stages. Of course, yung ultimate na makukuha nila is samadhi on the top level ng 8 limbs of yoga system. And like si Dhruva Maharaj, si Narada Muni, even si Lord Shiva, the result is having the darshan of the four-arm form ni Krishna. Pero that kind of rasa is not there. Si Bhishma Dev or the Bhakti Yogis are very different, sabi ni Srila Prabhupada. They are meditating on Krishna on pure love and spontaneous affection. So may difference yung dalawa. That's why Bhishma Dev also was able to have darshan and also have this kind of interaction kay Krishna. And even, glorious that niya, andun si Krishna mismo sa katabi niya, meditating on him. Actually, this kind of pastime ni Krishna, this lila of Krishna is what we call Nitya Lilas or eternal lilas ni Krishna. Ibig sabihin, eternal to, nangyayari palagi. Sila Bhishma Dev, yung Pandavas, yung mga close associate ni Krishna, laging nangyayari to. So, habang pinag-uusapan natin ngayon, baka malamang nag-battle sila sa Battle of Kurukshetra sa ibang universes. After nangyari dito sa universe na to, they will all go to the other universes. Kasi once every day ni Brahma, pupunta sila Krishna, bumaba si Krishna to have these eternal pastimes. And kasama lahat ng actors niya. Lahat ng pure devotees niya kasama doon. So si Bhishma Dev, ito palagi nangyayari sa kanya, dying, kaharap si Krishna. Ganon sila fortunate. Ganon yung Nitya Lilas ni Krishna. So it is not made up. It is not just very unique. May mga lila si Krishna na just for your year, pero may lila siya na eternal. Yung mga childhood pastimes niya, yung like itong battlefield, ever since. Kaya this Bhagavad Gita is eternal. Not just, it was compiled 5,000 years ago, pero it is happening until now. So, nag-transfer. Just like, pag bumababa yung um, president sa isang bansa, lagi niya kasama yung mga ambassadors niya. Meron siyang group of servants. I could remember when um, si Guru Maharaj was traveling before COVID in different countries. Meron siya palagi mga entourage. Yan. Alam na yung mga galawan doon sa lugar na yon. Alam na rin yung mga how to serve Guru Maharaj, how to assist para pag may mga program, Christian program. Tapos they have different tasks and services. Yung iba play ng mga instrument, yung iba behind the scene organizing, diba? They're doing different tasks and grabe yung duties din nila doon. Kumbaga parang matutuwa ka as or yung mga ibang audience could see a pure devotee in a distance. Pero iba pag kasama mo yung pure devotee yun sa mga behind the scene. So yeah, one of the dearmost associate ng ating Guru Maharaj, si Rajanath Prabhu, could tell us, of course, next time or kung kailan siya free, yung mga stories ng mga ganitong behind the scene. Kasi hindi natin basta-basta nakikita yun. Just like when we're reading yung I'll Build You a Temple or yung Life ni Srila Prabhupada or yung even Chasing Rhinos, ang sarap niya basahin kasi parang ayun nga, yung mga hindi natin nakikitang angulo, the life of Srila Prabhupada, as well as yung mga interactions, yung mga lessons that we could relish. Same thing. These associates of Krishna, very close associates of Krishna, gano'n sila ka-close, nagpapanaan sila. Gano'n sila ka-close. And kahit si Bhishmadev, pinana si Krishna, nung mamamatay na si Bhishmadev, kasama niya si Krishna. Gano'n sila ka-close. Diba? Ganun level. And wala makakapantay basta-basta doon. And that's the very exalted position ng mga pure devotees ni Krishna. At the same time, sinabi ni Srila Prabhupada, and also in the translation, that those in the battlefield are seeing Krishna. May rope, may whip, dun sa chariot. Lahat sila nakikita that Krishna is serving his pure devotees. That is the ultimate love ni Krishna din sa mga devotees niya. At the same time, those who saw this got liberation. In the last line sa translation, those who saw him on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original forms after that. So may original form daw tayo, hindi pala to yung form natin. So pag namatay na ako, in the future, pag nakuha yung original form ko, wala nang tattoo yun. Dito lang yun sa katawan na to. Meron the original form. Or, yeah, yung iba ayaw pag-usapan to, pero pag binasa mo yung talaga yung Bhagavad Gita, nasa introduction na kagad yun. Yung sa Roop. Meron tayong original form dun sa original home natin. Diba? We wouldn't know now kung ano yun. And hindi rin basta-basta pwedeng kumausap pa ng tao tapos sabihin niya sa'yo, ano ka, peacock ka. So, ngayon, practice mo na maging peacock. O kaya, mag-isda ka doon sa spiritual world. Practice mo na lumangoy ng isda, kaya mag-ano ka na. So, it's not that cheap. It is on the level of the progress of bhakti. Pero those who saw Krishna in the battlefield, yan, those in the level of Krishna, who saw Krishna on the battlefield, they attained their sarup, or eternal form after that. That's the benefit and yung kanyang si Krishna's ultimate na mercy sa mga tao doon sa battlefield. Hindi biro yon to be on that same battlefield kay Krishna. Diba? Habang namamatay sila, pwedeng sila Krishna sa si Arjuna dadaan sa harapan nila. Or pinana ka ni Arjuna, huling nakita mo si Krishna sa si Arjuna. Sobrang kakaibang mga pastime. Kung mahilig ka sa action, ito na yung ultimate action, ultimate adventure. And yung ultimate death na ma-experience ni Bhishmadev is very different. So, nag-travel yung meditation ni Bhishmadev from Krishna's greatness, cause of all the causes, yung greatness niya sa war, how he protects his devotees. Also, sinabi din dito yung mga nag-benefit doon. Ganun yung prayers, ganun yung concentration and meditation ni Bhishma. Now, from this Srimad Bhagavatam, Vyasadeva is always teaching us, and by the example of Krishna and his devotees, to always appreciate Krishna's greatness. We go through this Srimad Bhagavatam first and then canto because that's Krishna's greatness. Before we reach yung sweetness ni Krishna. And in capsules, in different pastimes, kahit nasa first canto pa lang tayo, may mga galon na. Just like the next verse that will be discussed by, I believe, Radhanath Prabhu. Makita natin yung verse na to, how Krishna is also very sweet sa kanyang mga devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sinabo din
Ako
pala
yata.
yan. sorry, paligtad.
Okay. Thank you very much, Radhacharan Prabhu. Malulupit ang iyong mga binitawan. yung darshan, yung meditation ni Bhishma Dev. And good morning everyone. Kasi maaga akong nagdarshan sa prasadam. May nagpadarshan ng prasadam. Tapos meron dito, may isa pa, may umuusok. Kala ko nagba-barbecue eh. Na ano ko na yun yung nami-meditate ko. Paano kaya pag gano'n, no? Mamamatay ka na, tapos prasadam pala ang na-meditate mo. Eh di, okay din, no? Kasi si Krishna rin yun. Pero dapat, Pero tinuturuan pa rin tayo ni Vishma Dev na mag-meditate.
May namatay na ba sa sa prasadam? Na choke ganon?
May namatay na sa prasadam? Tinatanong mo? Na bilaukan? Ayun, no? Hare Krishna. Ang mga parents and sino to? Radha Jivan. Ayan. Raja Hamsa. And our dear Mohini Rupa. Ayan. Nasaan na tayo? Ayun, sa text 40, tinuturuan tayo ni Bhishma Dev na paano yung proper na meditation. And how he does is, let my mind be fixed upon Lord Sri Krishna. So what kind of Sri Krishna? Whose motion and smiles of love attracted the damsels of Brajadam, the gopis. The damsels imitated the characteristic movement of the Lord after his disappearance from the rasa dance. Ayan. Kung makikita natin, si Bhishma Dev, bakit niya sinabi yung mga gopis, let my mind be fixed upon Lord Sri Krishna, whose motion and smiles love attracted the damsels of Brajadam or the gopis. Kasi kung hindi natin alam, yung mga gopis na yan is one of the topmost devotees of Krishna in Braj or in Vrindavan. So, sobrang surrendered sila actually. One of the, para ma-describe natin siya. One time, si Krishna, nag-act siya ng masakit yung ulo niya. Nag-headache siya. Tapos, sinabi niya kay Narada Muni, masakit yung ulo ko. So, ano dapat namin gawin? Sabi ni Narada Muni, sa tingin ko tanging gamot lang is a dust from the lotus feet of my devotees. Okay, edi punta ka, hahanap ako. Dust ng lotus feet ng devotees, okay. And then, punta siya sa Dwarka. Tapos tinanong niya yung mga queens doon. Masakit ang ulo ni Krishna. Pero ang ano is kailangan lang is yung dust ng lotus feet ng devotees na. And you are one of his devotees. Mga Dwarka dish. Mga damsels of Dwarka. Kila ano yun, kila Rukmini, Queen Rukmini. So Dwarka is ano yun, Owen Reverence din, parang gano'n. Mga royalty. Sabi ng mga queens, no, cannot. Because we will go to hell. Kasi nga, sa Vedic culture, kumbaga hindi natin pwedeng ang gamitin yung paa natin. Parang pinaka ano dyan is muchi yung paa eh. Saan natin dinadala, saan napupunta. So, kumbaga, madumi siya. What to speak of ilalagay yung dust ng lotus feet, yung feet nila, dust ng lotus feet nila sa ulo ni Krishna. Parang, okay, napaka-offensive nun. And certainly, surely will go to hell. Okay. So, hanap na naman siya. And then, sa ibang lugar. And almost same thing, tumatanggi din. But then, pumunta si Narada Muni sa Braj o sa Vrindavan. And then, tinanong niya yung mga gopis. Masakit yung ulo ni Krishna eh. Pero, ano na to? Ang tanging gamot lang is, yun nga, yung dust ng lotus feet ng devotees niya. Okay. Nagtawag pa yung mga ibang devotee ng ibang mga gopis na, sige, collect natin yung mga, yung mga dust ng lotus feet natin. And then, ibigay mo kay Krishna. Enough na ba yan? Enough na ba yan? Sinabing gano'n. Tapos, nagulat si Narada Muni na, bakit? Bakit ano? Bakit kaya, hindi ba kayo, wait lang. Hindi pa kayo na, na tatakot na you will go to hell because Muchi is you put in the head of Krishna. I think we think certainly we'll go to hell. It's okay, we'll go to hell, but kung yun yung makakapagpa kay Krishna, makakapagpa galing sa sakit ng ulo ni Krishna, then we'll go to hell. It's okay. So ganun ka-surrender yung mga gopis na they don't mind where they will go, but for their beloved Krishna, gagawin nila lahat. So, yon. Isa pa dyan, kung iti-twist ko naman yung about sa potency ng lotus feet. Sa ganun din, sa materiality, sa material point of view, ayaw natin yung lotus, yung paa. Kunyari, yung may someone na nakasaharap mo, tapos in-stretch yung paa niya sa'yo, uy, tanggalin mo nga yung paa mo, baho-baho, ganyan. Diba? Ayaw natin. And then, pero actually, makikita mo, dun sa custom ng mga, sa Vedic custom o Vedic culture, is, makikita mo bakit yung mga devotee o yung mga kunyari wag na lang muna sa devotee yung culture ng mostly ng India na yung lagi nila tinatouch yung lotus yung feet ng mga parents, mga elders, yung parang pinakamano nila, nagmamano sila or pay respect. And then dun sa Vedic culture or sa how to say it, in a devotee is ganun din. We touch the feet of the spiritual master or most of our respected devotees, and then we touch on our head. And that is the significance of our humility, na kung sino nga naman, we are the servant. Kumbaga, kung sino nga naman na sobrang humble na maglalagay ng dust ng lotus feet ng someone dun sa ulo niya. Pero in other way around, actually, whether we believe it or not, meron siyang actually benefit. Which is, meron dong sa spirituality, nandoon daw lahat ng potency or yung gateway ng tao sa paa. What does it mean? Ibig sabihin, whether we believe it or not, sa Vedic culture, when you touch someone's feet and it touch mo sa ulo mo, meaning, may transmigration na nangyayari doon, very subtle. Meaning, I will get your good karma and I will give you my bad karma. Heavy, no? Kaya, you know, one of the, merong isang, si Pakajangri Prabhu, yung kinikwento ni Radhanath Prabhu na nasa ano ngayon, nasa situation ng COVID. Kasama niya yung twins niya, si Jananivas Prabhu, transcendental twins na head pujari ng Mayapur, is nagparikram sila or nagpilgrimage sila one month sa Brindavan. And hindi ganun ka dali mag-pilgrimage ng 1 month sa Brindavan. From one place to another, minsan umuulan, bare feet, ganyan. But those 1 month pilgrimage and all austerity, of course, magkakaroon ka ng punya doon or potency or energy, spiritual energy. And then bumalik na sila sa Mayapur. So yung mga devotee, nagbibiruan na tinatouch yung lotus feet ng ganyan. Habol-habol, edi takbo-takbo. Ayaw ipatouch. Kasi, totoo nga naman whether you believe it or not, meron talagang transmigration. So, ang point doon, kumbaga, ang point kasi doon is, sabi nga niya, hindi naman siya madamot pero actually, mabigat din yun. Mabigat yun na pinaghirapan mo ng ilang buwan or yung talagang austerity and all. Tapos parang kukunin lang ng instant, di ba? So parang unfair. And then, yun, yun yung parang biroan nila, hindi siya nagpahuli. So, ayun. Ang pinaka-point doon is, yun, andoon yung potency sa andoon yung potency sa lotus feet. And makikita nyo lahat ng mga talampakan ng great personality, lotus feet ng great personality. May mga marking, may mga naka-drawing na auspicious items. So, kaya ganun na lang yung ni Bhishma Dev doon sa doon sa surrenderness ng mga gopis sa kanya kay Krishna, na yun yung meditate niya na kind of Krishna na sobrang beloved ng mga gopis. So dito naman sa text 41, ganun din, pero in a different way naman. At the Rajasuya Yagya sacrifice performed by Maharaj Yudhishthir, there was a greatest assembly of the elite men, greatest assembly of the elite men of the world world, the royal and the learned orders, and in that great assembly, Lord Krishna was worshipped by one of all as the most exalted personality of Godhead. This happened during my presence, and I remember the incident in order to keep my mind upon the Lord. Ito na sabi greatest assembly, yung pinakamalulupit na mga kings and elite men, yung mga royal orders or even the brahmanas or learned orders is nandoon. Anong ginagawa nila ron? They worship Krishna. So that kind of Krishna, inaano niya, ano to? Minimeditate niya yung scene na yun. Kasi he is worthy of worship of all those greatest men or elite men, we can say. Hindi lang basta sa royal orders, even those Brahmin order or the learned people. So, hindi basta-basta. Pero nagtipon-tipon yung mga yon just to worship Krishna. Yung Rajasuya sacrifice nga pala, or Rajasuya Yagya, yun yung 100 horse sacrifice. So, bakit ano yung 100 horse sacrifice? Noon, yun yung isa sa pinaka-great sacrifice. Magkaroon ka lang ng isang kabayo dito ngayon, mayaman ka na eh. Yung pa kayang 100, i-sacrifice sila sa fire yagya. Pero yung 100 horse na yon is magiging liberated yon. Hindi nila hindi nila i-enjoy masasacrifice sila doon, pero ang kapalit na magiging maliliberate sila. So ano yun, Treta Yuga or something, basta yung mga elaborate na sacrifices. So hindi natin magagawa yun ngayon dito. Kasi sabi nga, before, yung mga mayaman is dati is pagka may kotse ka, mayaman ka. Pero lahat noon, yung transportation nakakabayo. Pero ngayon, lahat na may kotse, pero pag may kabayo ka, medyo ikaw ang mayaman pagka may kabayo ka. Ngayon, so lahat meron ng sasakyan. May kotse na. So baliktad. But anyway, thank you.
Krishna, good morning everybody. Ang malapit na nangyari dito. Actually, nag-prepare ako for text number 40 and 41. Na naduling yata ako sa Sineni Radio Sharon Pabo. Kasi meron kaming every time pag may class na makaka-attend kami. Bibigyan pa ni Radio Sharon Pabo ng mga pointers to speak on particular verses. Ako na naduling yata. Pero it's all good. Always have something to speak about, or more importantly, to hear about Krishna, and from there we can speak about that particular verse. So thank you, Navadip Chandra Prabhu and Radha Chandra Prabhu, for reading the previous verses. Now we read text number 42. Now I can meditate with full concentration upon that one Lord, Sri Krishna, now present before me, because now I have transcended the misconceptions of duality in regard to his presence in everyone's heart, even in the hearts of the mental speculators. He is in everyone's heart. The sun may be perceived differently, but the Son is one. So yung mga dinidescribe nila Dr. Charmavinaudi Chandra Prabhu, yun nga at the time of death, usually ang machi-cherish mo talaga or parang ano yun, no? Experience na yun. No? Pero it's described na ganun nga yung nangyayari. Yung mga cherished moments, yung mga happy moments, or yung mga moments na nag-stick sa'yo talaga sa life mo. Yun yung yung sinasabing ng mga magpa-flashback sa'yo. So, sa nakita natin example na dinescribe sa nangyari kay Bhishma Dev, kay Grandfather Bhishma, is very, very wonderful. Lahat ng mga pastimes na yon, yung mga mga cherished moments niya na alam niya about kay Krishna, yung mga pinakita ni Krishna sa kanya, or yung mga narinig niya about kay Krishna. Kasi magtataka ka no, din sa pastime nung leaving the gopis si Krishna. Wala naman si Bhishma Dev dun eh. So, somehow or other, narinig niya yun. Narinig niya yung pastime na yun. Umabot sa kanya balita niya. Kasi si Krishna is the most controversial person eh. He is the Supreme Lord. He can do whatever he likes. So, malamang umabot yon, nasa Vrindavan yon sila. Umabot yon somewhere sa Hastinapur or sa kingdom nila nun. Nangyari kay Krishna yun. That very wonderful pastime regarding Krishna leaving the gopis. One that is most, I would say, most confidential, most intimate pastimes of the Lord. His loving exchanges with the gopis of Vrindavan. And some describe Navadip Chandra Prabhu. It's the gopis of Vrindavan that it's the embodiment of this highest form of love kay Krishna. So, it is for that very reason why si Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, si Lord Chaitanya, is nag-descend sa atin to because tataka siya gaano ka deep yung love sa akin ng mga gopis na to. Hindi niya maintindihan. There's one thing na yung hindi maintindihan si Lord, baka yun. Hindi niya maintindihan gaano ba ako ka-beloved sa mga to. Hindi ko ma-arok yung feelings nila, ang dandam nila. Gusto ko maintindihan. So, that's one of the main reason why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared to us in that mood of that devotee who is always in separation of Lord Krishna. Kasi sabi nga, si Krishna alam niya yung yung psychology ng women, and that is one na dito yung service in separation na sinasabi. So, si Krishna ginawa niya sa mga gopis yon kasi alam niya na by in separation that si Lord Chaitanya rin in exhibit that mood of love in separation is the highest form of love. So anyway, yun yung isa sa mga example na binigay kung bakit love of the gopis are the topmost. But anyway, going to this verse, mainly dinidescribe dito sa text number 42 is that conception. 'Di ba if na pag-aralan niyo na sa Bhagavad Gita sa mga classes na binibigay, yung three conceptions of how one can perceive the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ba yun yung tinatawag na the Brahman, the Paramatma, and the Bhagavan. The three features of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Diba? So, that three features is Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan. Yung Brahman is described as that effulgence. Siya yung effulgence na nanggagaling kay Lord Krishna. And that bright light, that effulgence, yun yung mga minimeditate ng mga impersonalist. Believing that bright light is the you can say for them the topmost destination, di ba? Although it's described sa Bhagavad Gita na yes, that is Krishna also, because it's emanating, that bright light is emanating from his bodily effulgence. So, di ba pag nakikita natin si Krishna or mga great personalities, lagi sila parang merong effulgence or yung tinatawag na parang hindi naman siya halo, pero parang gano'n na rin. ba, yung bright light. So yun yung tawag na Brahma Jyoti, or that bright light na meditate ng mga impersonalist. Tapos another feature is that Paramatma, or the Lord within the heart. So Krishna also so kindly expanded himself as that Krishna in the heart, within the heart, because he is present within every living entity. In fact, in every small atom, andun si Krishna. So, but dinidescribe, sinasabi ni Srila Prabhupada sa purport niya na, yes, although they are one one and different at the same time from the Lord. From that feature, the Brahman and the Paramatma feature of the Lord, it's not equal to the Bhagavan feature of the Lord, or which is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in that parang human-like feature. Bakit? Kasi in that form of Krishna, one can have that sweet relationship. Sinasabi nga ni Srila Prabhupada, in fact, sinasabi niya, there is no interesting. Krishna is both Brahma Jyoti, yun yung effulgence, and the localized Paramatma. But in Brahma Jyoti or Paramatma feature, there is no Krishna or sweet relations with Krishna. So parang ganun. So sa madaling salita, dinidescribe lang dito yung why that Bhagavan feature of Krishna, or worship Krishna, in his true original form, Krishna two-handed form, Krishna holding a flute like this, is the ultimate, dapat dito parang ultimate na minimeditate ng mga human beings. Kasi that is the form of Krishna where one can develop yung mga rasas na tinatawag, yung mga mellows na tinatawag. And if you understand in the scriptures, there are 5 primary rasas na tinatawag that one can, you can say, choose to maintain with Krishna, to have that kind of relationship. The rasa means the relationship. And diba yung rasa, yung 5 rasas are the Shanta ras, Dasya ras, Sakya ras, Vatsalya ras, and Madhurya ras. These are the mellows one can have with Krishna, or relationship that one can meditate or choose to have with Krishna. So that Shantaras is the reverence, in the reverence mood. So you're looking up to Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you're always in the mood of awe and reverence. Parang gano'n, you're my Lord. So sa madaling salat, pwede siyang nasa, Krishna is the Lord, the King, and you are the subject, parang gano'n, and you're always in awe and reverence. More on, parang strict, nasa strict mood, parang gano'n. Santaras, yung Dasyaras naman is the loving service. So, one, you can say parang servant of Krishna, and ang nag-perfect actually na itong ng rasa na to is, we can say, for example, is that Hanuman, Hanuman in Lord Ramachandra's pastime, he is the monkey warrior that is very much pleased Lord Ramachandra because of his surrender. He's full of devotion to him, and parang kahit saan nagpunta si Lord Ram, sinamahan niya si Lord Ram sa battles. So parang siya yung embodiment ng Dasyaras na mellow, yung mellow or relationship of being a servant, si Hanuman. And then yung Sakyaras naman is the friendship mood. Ito yung makikita natin si Arjuna. So siya yung embodiment. So we can have friendly relationship with the Lord. Meaning, gano'n, you can para pwede kang mag-joke kay Krishna, kasi pag friend, usually equal level kayo, parang gano'n. So inaalaw ni Krishna yun, depending on your love and devotion to him. That is the wonderful result ng process ng Krishna consciousness, is all these things can be may mga option ka kung ano gusto mo maging mood kay Krishna. Hindi lang tayo parang lagi nasa awe and reverence, Krishna, my Lord, I bow down to you. Parang may takot, may sort of fear, parang kasi baka pag gumawa ako ng mali, you will parang parang gano'n. So medyo may takot. Yun yung awe and reverence, lagi maingat ka. Pero pag in contrast, pag Sakyaras, may dinidescribe si Krishna, di ba? Marami siya mga sakhas or yung mga friends niya. Parang si Srimati Radharani, meron siya mga gopis. Si Krishna naman yung mga gopas siya. Yung mga friends din siya. So yung mga friends na yun, kaya mo, si Krishna, matapak sa kanya, tinatapakan si Krishna or, di ba, ang tawag doon, sasakay sa balikat ni Krishna. So, di ba, parang ano eh, it's sweet, it's just sweet. And then sinasabi nga, dinidescribe na minsan lolokohin nila si Krishna, papakainin ng sweets kunyari, pero ibibigay sa bibig niya flowers. Di ba? Parang, can you imagine the Supreme Lord being treated this way? But yes, sabi nga ni Srila Prabhupada, we can actually do this depending on our love and devotion, depending on our desire, that intense desire, kung anong gusto natin maging toward kay Krishna. So it's yung parental affection naman na sinasabi is yun na, becoming a parent of Lord Krishna, like Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj or Devaki and Vasudev. So ganun yung relationship nila kay Krishna as parent. So di ba, yung mga parents naman natin kung ano yung ibig sabihin no, if you have this parental relationship, di ba, pag may anak ka. Tapos ayun yung sinasabi ko na that's why the highest mood is this mood of the gopis, is yung Madhurya Rasa, is this conjugal loving relationship with the Lord. Kasi they're ready to give up everything, even the social, parang social etiquette na yan. May mga wife, may mga husband na sila and everything, but when Krishna wants to meet them in this rasa dance, this most intimate pastimes, they give up everything. Marinig lang nila yung flute ni Krishna. Iiwanan lahat nila yung ginagawa nila. Ganun ka-intense yung loving relationship nila kay Krishna. Yan yan, sa describe ni Navadvip Chandra Prabhu, they're even willing to go to hell. Diba? Just to make sure that the Lord is parang hindi masasaktan si Lord or bumuti lang yung pakiramdam ni Lord. They don't care. They don't care about this hellish destination. So, kaya mga stories na yun is just to prove na yung love ng mga gopis kay Krishna is the highest. And Srila Prabhupada and even our Guru Maharaj have warned us very, you can say, always warned us that this kind of relationships that gopis have for Krishna is the one that we cannot simply imitate. We should be guided by bona fide spiritual masters and scriptures when we discuss these topics, because this can be misinterpreted, di ba? Ganun. So, but anyway, going back to the verse, ayun yung mga naaalala ni Bhishma. Kaya gina-glorify niya yung mga gopis kasi nga sinasabi rin din sa purport na si Krishna is very much satisfied when his devotees are being glorified. Parang gano'n, he's very much pleased. So ginagawa ni Bhishma yung glorify ni si Arjuna, glorify ni mga gopis, because yung mga loving exchanges nila kay Krishna is so extraordinary, so topmost na sana ma-attain niya rin yun. And yun yung meditation niya. Imagine mo, sinasabi nga, nakikinig ko ng lecture this morning, yung sabi, yung condition kung nasan si Bhishma Dev, kung nasang, di ba, sinasabi ni Radhacharan Prabhu kanina, andun na lahat ng ingredients yung perfect time, perfect place, and yun nga, yung circumstances may not be perfect Why? Because ano yung circumstances kung nasan yung sa death ni Bhishma Dev. Sinasabi, it's a ghastly scenario. It's a ghastly situation. It's a battle, perhaps the greatest battle has ever fought. Millions of dead horses, elephants, dead people, dead warriors. And practically, sabi nga, yung floor is parang muddied by the blood of these warriors. So imagine mo, nandun ka sa scenario na yun. Ang hirap mag-meditate nun. Wala siya sa mode of parang even passion or goodness, di ba? It's so ghastly, sabi nga, it's so ghastly. So imagine nandun ka sa scenario na yun and maalala mo si Krishna in that mood. Ibig sabihin, wala na out of body, out of parang, you can say, nasa transcendental mode na si si Bhishmadev kasi sabi nga, given that scenario, given that situation, he was able to concentrate his mind sa ganung sa mga pinakita niya sa prayers and sa mga glorification for Krishna and his devotees. Kaya hindi madali. That's Mahajan. Yung sabi ni Srila Prabhupada. That's why he's a Mahajan. He's one of the Greek authorities. Pagdating sa Krishna consciousness. Kasi kahit na, sabi nga kaka-describe sa kanya, parang siyang porcupine. May animal yung namin pusok, parang gano'n. So, parang gano'n yung itura ni Bhishmadev. Kasi practically, parang ulo lang yata ang, yung sabi parang ulo lang ang atay, parang gano'n. Parang practically lahat ng body, ano niya, may tama ng arrows and nakasuspend siya doon, di ba? So, hindi madali mag-meditate. Pero yung sabi ni Srila Prabhupada, that's why he is a Mahajan. Because even in that, Krishna, in his death. So that was a glorious death. So yun yung mainly dinidescribe dito sa text number 42, yung features ng Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, or the effulgence, the Lord being the effulgence, and then the Lord as the within the heart, or the Paramatma, and the Bhagavan, that original feature of the Lord Krishna, the two-handed form. So ang sinasabi is that's why he was able to transcend all of this, because he know that Krishna as the Bhagavan, the Supreme Person, is the highest sa tatlo na yon. So he was able to attain. Yung sabi ni Srila Prabhupada na yung misconceptions ng duality in regards sa presence ni Krishna na gano'n is na-transcend niya na, just believing that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is the source. He is the embodiment ng mga tinatawag na ibang features na yun, the Paramatma and the Brahman. So in text number 43, basahin natin, which is I believe the last verse. Sutta Goswami said, thus Bhishmadev merged himself in the Super Soul, Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with his mind, speech, sight, and actions. And thus he became silent, and his breathing stopped. Galing, no? So, sinasabi ni Srila Prabhupada, gusto kong pisahan yung sinabi ni Srila Prabhupada, itong verse na ito, sa sinabi ni Srila Prabhupada sa purport, yung sa last sentence, sabi niya, the human form of life is especially meant for dying like Bhishmadev. Diba? This is the main lesson na dapat makuha natin dito sa pastime na to. Of Bhishmadev's passing away. The art of dying, the description of the glorious death, diba? Ito na yung pinaka summary bakit natin pinag-aaralan itong passing away ni Bhishmadev. And yun sinabi ni Srila Prabhupada. The human form of life is especially meant for dying like Bhishmadev. Because otherwise, what happens? Humans die like animals, diba? No sense at all, diba? They die like flies, parang ganun. Walang sense. And it's the most unfortunate situation. Bakit? As human beings, we're supposed to be, first of all, have higher consciousness than animals. We're able to think of God or think of Krishna, meditate. We have that higher consciousness, and the animals don't have that. So if we die like animals, it's the most unfortunate, and it's disservice for this human form of life. So in short, this Krishna consciousness is offering a lot of ways and means para ma-prepare tayo dun sa time of death, diba? And Srila Prabhupada goes to explain or goes to describe here sa purport niya the 9 processes of devotional service. And sinasabi niya, anyone or all of this or any one of this is enough para ma-attain natin kung anong na-attain ni Bhishmadev. But sinasabi niya is hearing, although everything is like qualified or have the power to do that, sinasabi niya hearing is the most important of all of them. And that's why hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing from the pure devotees, discussing this with devotees is one way that we can become Krishna conscious. Kasi with hearing, we can understand, we can focus our mind, we can know so many details about how to be successful in this material world. Because of hearing, we can transcend yung material and become maging purely spiritualized ang ating mga actions through hearing. That's why hearing is very important, hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. And with hearing, we can attain, we can attain the destination of Bhishma Dev. So that's why this Krishna consciousness is most essential, most essential and the most important welfare work, as devotees used to describe, the most important welfare work that one can do, because this process of Krishna consciousness solves the real problems of life, and one of them is neglecting that we're all gonna die, diba? And we think that we're gonna live forever, or at least we're ignorantly, or parang sinasadya nating isipin na parang hindi tayo mamatay. And that is one of the most we can say yung illusion na nandun yung mga human beings. So with the pastimes of Bhishma Dev passing away, we can learn how he meditated, how he prepared for his death, and certainly, as the title for this morning's podcast is, that was the glorious death. Yeah. So very wonderful pastimes. And gusto ko lang i-share kagabi, sinare ko rin kalarado Charan eh. Ibang klase rin talaga eh, no? Kasi nakapanood ako nung nadaanan ko sa YouTube I came across sa YouTube yung funeral ni King Philip ba yan? His Royal Highness King Philip, parang yun. Ibang klase yung mga details, ibang klase yung mga yung procession. So parang iniisip ko lang parang if a special personality or a great personality dies, may mga ganun silang klaseng ceremonies and rites. But what to speak of, ano kayang ginagawa nila noon, mga time nila Krishna, di ba? Antindi ng mga details eh. So I cannot just help but be in awe, parang really nagawa nila yan. And just amazing. This death, subject matter of death is really you can say not mentioned so much, but it's certainly something na dapat lahat tayo nag-prepare. Thank you very much, Dr. Charan Prabhu. Any last words?
Napakaganda, and that closes yung life ni Bhishma Dev in this pastime. And sobrang we are very fortunate to hear this interaction ni Bhishma Dev, a great devotee, a Mahajan, kay Krishna and his prayers. And we can only pray that in our last breath, you could utter the name of Krishna. And that is actually a glorious death. Even without the gold, even without the royalty, or TV coverage katulad ng napanood namin kagabi. Pero when one chanted Krishna's name, that's the ultimate perfection. So we are inviting everyone again to transfer sa ating next classroom in Guru Maharaj class in the Zoom. You just have to use the VBA _ Bhaktin or Bhaktad and the name. If you are initiated, of course, you can use VBA initiated name or your initiated name. And we'll hear another glorious pastimes coming from the Srimad Bhagavatam, from the lotus mat of a spiritual master. Maraming salamat. Grandfather Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Grandfather Bhishma Dev ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande. 11 o'clock also a Bhagavad Gita class. And also village talk tonight. 7 o'clock. Hare Krishna. So transfer tayo doon. Last breath na raw.